And how's it going there, ladies and gentlemen, Canine? And today, guys, I'm going to show you all the variants for all the different guns that I have in this game. And obviously, there are a lot of guns in the game, so this might be a bit longer of a video. So I'm going to show you all my variants, and then I'm going to show you my favorite variant for each gun, and my favorite variant for each category of gun, and of course, at the end, my favorite gun overall in the entire game. So I've seen a few other YouTubers do this, and I found it quite interesting, so I hope you all enjoy. So let's start off with the N1941. I don't have all the variants yet. I'm just missing the Battle Watch 2, but I have the Savior 2, the Savior 1, which is ugly, Jawbreaker, Jawbreaker 2, Battle Watch 1, which, look, the Battle Watch 2 is so much nicer, the Cook, and the Cook 2. So my favorite out of all of these is probably the Savior 2, pretty much because it's the first one I got, and it looks like the Battle Watch, just, you know, not the Battle Watch. Next, M1 Garand. I've got the Frontline, I've got the Rookie, and the Rookie 2. Favorite variant has to be the Rookie 2, purely because it's my only heroic variant. But if I had a heroic Frontline, that would be my favorite overall. Just because look at that, how clean it is. Anyway, next, STG. I really don't have many STG variants, which kind of sucks. But I got the Red Baron, I got the Haywire 2, the Shingles, and the Serum 2. My favorite has to be the Haywire 2 because it has super clean iron sights and looks really good with pretty much any camo on it. But if I could have the Shingles, this would be my favorite because it's the full size rifle. It doesn't have the folding stock that's folded away. It's the full size gun. Then we have the L1A1, which I pretty much have everything for. So we got Little Biscuit, which is ugly as hell. Bite the Dust 2. The Body Snatcher is the only one I don't have, but I got the Body Snatcher 2, Bug Juice, and Bug Juice 2. So my favorite by far is the Body Snatcher 2. It just looks so clean. I absolutely love the look of this rifle. We have the FG42. I've got the, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that shit, but it's ugly and destroyed and not interested. Don't have the revised. Got the revised 2 though. Stripe Happy. I don't have the Stripe Happy 2, unfortunately. Got the Stickeroo and the Stickeroo 2. So 9 times out of 10, I don't like the variants that have the yellow writing on it, but this one I do, because when you put a camo on it, it completely covers up that writing and you don't even notice it. So the Stickeroo 2 is my favorite, but if I had the Stripe Happy 2, the Stripe Happy 2 would be my favorite. But yeah, so for now it is the Stickeroo 2. We have the Bar, which I have all the variants for because they were all orders at one point or another. So we've got the Old Captain, the Old Captain 2, we've got the Flyboy, the Dude Up 2, the Cool Hand, and the Cool Hand 2. And the Cool Hand 2, by far my favorite. I love the iron sights. I'm not quite sure why, because they're not actually that good looking or easy to use, but I really like them. I love the fact that it looks like the old bar from World at War, and especially with the new sound and all that, that is my favorite variant. And plus, all the camos look really good on it. We have the SBT. I got the Siberian, which is ugly as hell. I have the SOL, the SOL2, and the OAO. So the SO2 is actually my favorite variant out of all of them, even including the Shackman and the AOA that I don't have. The SOL is definitely my favorite. I think the chrome's a bit much. I kind of wish it wasn't so shiny, but yeah, really like this variant. Definitely my favorite SVT variant. We have the Gewehr, which I actually have all the variants for. So we have the Chiller, the one you could buy for the Winter Siege event. I got the Capitan, which is, or was it Captain? I don't know, whatever. It's after the K, so it's awkward. Which is the short version. We have the Noble 2, and we have the flat Gewehr. Obviously, the Noble 2 being the heroic is my favorite variant by far. And plus, it looks really clean. I love it. I don't even put camo on it sometimes just because it looks really nice without a camo. We have the Volkssturm Gewehr. So we have the Resistor, the Defiance. I don't have the Goat 2. And then we just have the base Volkssturm Gewehr. My favorite variant is the base variant. I don't like the Resistor because of all the crap it's got written on it. I hate the sights for both the Defiance, and I've used the Goat by picking it up. I also don't like its sight. So the box standard Volkssturm Gewehr is my favorite. It's just clean, simple, really nice iron sights. Then we have the Type 5, which I don't have any except the Heroic. I can get the base variant, but again, I have the Heroic. And obviously the Heroic is my favorite variant of this, even if I had all the others unlocked. This is just so nice. I love the little details on it. Too bad I don't like the gun very much. Then we've got the M2 Carbine, which I've got the Apex Predator, which is the one you can purchase. And to be honest, my favorite out of all of these would have to be probably the rare, just the base one. I could have got it, but I didn't really see it didn't feel as though it was worth the $5 or so grand you have to spend to get the order. So I'm just stuck with the Apex Predator, which is my least favorite out of all of them. I absolutely hate the stars on the top of the barrel there. I hate the stripes. I hate the land, sea, air shit on the side of it. Really, really, really don't like it. And unfortunately, camos do not cover it, so it's all stuck there forever. But really fun gun to use. And lastly, we have the Itra Burst, which I have the Lightning Strike, which is the one you could buy. I have the Femme Fatale, and I have the Heroic Belladonna 2. I just don't have the base one. And to be honest, the base is kind of ugly, the redwood and all that. My favorite would probably have to be the Belladonna, purely because it's the Heroic one. But Femme Fatale's right there next to it. Lightning Strike's ugly as hell. So yeah, it's close between these two, but I'm just gonna have to go with the Heroic purely for the heroicness of it. And I kind of like the engraving of it. I wish there was a little less engraving, but I do like it. But my favorite variant of every single one of these has got to be, and again, this is aesthetics only, not my favorite assault rifle of them all. My favorite assault rifle is probably the FG or the Bar. But in terms of aesthetics, it's probably the Noble 2. I love the look of this one. I really do. It's probably my favorite looking assault rifle. This one, with a close second having to be, where's the M1A1 that I love, the Body Snatcher. With that one being a very close second. Those two, I don't even use either of them almost at all, but I love the look of them. Moving on to some machine guns, we have the Grease Gun, which obviously everyone has the Rosie 2, Candy 2, Roxy 2, which is still ugly, and the Brandy, which is the first actual SMG variant I got, period. But Candy 2 is my favorite by far. It is super clean and looks really good with camos. And it's not that. PPSH, I actually have a lot of variants of the PPSH. So I got the Iron Curtain, I have the Thrive. The only one I don't have is the Thrive 2, but I got the Snake, I got the Snake 2, the Duck Soup, and the Duck Soup 2. Now, in terms of looks, the Snake is my favorite. But I hate its iron sights. I can use them, but the Duck Soup 2 sights is way, way nicer. So I'm going to say Snake 2 is my favorite variant, but when I'm actually using the PPSH, I use the Duck Soup 2 because I really like its iron sights. Type 100, I pretty much have everything for it. The Empire, Empire 2, Checked Out. Oh, excuse me. Checked Out 2 is the only variant I don't have. Got the Righteous and the Righteous 2, the Blue Sky and the Blue Sky 2. So, out of all of those, the Righteous 2 is my favorite. Even if I did have the Checked Out 2, I'd still like the Righteous more. It's a little less flashy. And the engraving, although excessive, is quite nice. Then we have the WAF. So we've got the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it looks really cool. We've got the Trigger Happy, the Oil Can 2, and the Soggy. Now, because of what the WAF is, I love the Soggy. And I also love the Soggy because my brother doesn't have it and he really wants it. So, although I have the Heroic version, and whenever I use this gun, I use my Heroic version, I think the Soggy is just ridiculous and hilarious, and I love it because my brother wants it and he doesn't have it. But to be honest, if I had this would be my favorite variant. Even though it's disgusting and ugly and all that, it just looks awesome. But for now, the Soggy. It's so dumb. Then we have the Thompson. I'm not even going to bother saying the numbers. Got the Wayfinder, the Wayfinder 2, Handler 2, the Wilco 2, and the Buck Private 2. So out of all of these, can I just point out, I fucking hate this variant. No matter what camera you put on it, you're stuck with the orange and the green and the flowers, and it's disgusting. But my favorite variant is the Wilco 2. I love the engraving. I love the wood paneling, the wood foot grips and the wood stock. I love it. I kind of like the handler too, but again, I think the gold's a bit much. This one, it doesn't have the gold. It's a bit more understated. It just looks cleaner. The gold's a bit much for me. So yeah, the Wilco 2. MP40. I have almost none of the variants for this, but I got the Wunderwaffe, the Wunderwaffe 2, and finally the Son of Mars. So obviously my favorite is going to be the Wunderwaffe 2, purely because it's my heroic variant. But if I could have my favorite variant, it would have to be the Son of Mars 2. I know it doesn't look anything like the base MP40, but I just think it looks cool. It actually looks more like a Waff than an MP40, but I think it looks cool. Then we had the Sten, which the only one I don't have is the one you buy, because from memory it was obscenely expensive. I actually almost have it though. But we got the Royal Skull, the Rooted, and the Sten. So I'm gonna say my favorite's the Rooted, even though it looks like a retarded gangster like fucking exhaust pipe. It's just ugly, but they're all ugly. So I'm just gonna go with the heroic one. I mean, the skull is ridiculous. The fact that it's the exhaust pipe is stupid, but I don't like any of them. So yeah, I'll go with the Rooted too. Then we have the Orso, which I ironically have all of them for. So we've got the Liberator, the one you could buy, we've got the Golden Goose, we've got the Twisted 2, and we have the Orso. My favourite, again, don't like any of them, so I'm just going to go with the Twisted 2, because heroic. Then we have the Forsaken 2, which we have, the M38, which has, I have the Forsaken 2 heroic variant, and the Top in the Morning. Honestly, I hate the heroic. Even if you put a camo on it, you can still see all the ridiculous blue and the ugly. It looks horrible. It's not worth it. I was excited when I got the heroic, like, cool, you know, better sight, hopefully. Not really. Yeah, don't like it. My favorite is the Homestead by far. It's just way cleaner than the others. I think the Homestead should be the heroic, and this should be an epic because it's just ugly. And the M38 base is actually quite cool as well. Then we have the Sterling, which I've only got the Blitzbreaker. Then we've got the Royal Decree, the Fatal Elegance, sorry, and then the base Sterling. Obviously, my favorite variant is the heroic. I love the engraving. Again, a bit excessive, but still cool. And yeah, I only have this one, which is ugly. And finally, we have the Nambu Type 2, which has the Stitches, the Second Horseman, which is ugly, the Dragon 2, which is ugly, the base variant, and I have the Wraith, which is my favorite by far, even though it's got the gold and it's a bit, yeah, it is just better than this stretch skin, bluey horribleness. That has the gaudiness, but it's also got engraving and like all sorts of other extra crap on it. This is the most basic one other than the standard variant of it. So I by far love the fact they got the Wraith. I got really lucky with that. But my favorite variant of them all is either the Snake 2 PPSH, Duck Soup 2 PPSH, or the Wilco 2. Oh fuck! You know what? I'm gonna go with the Wilco 2. The Wilco 2 I might not use very much, but I just love the look of it. I really do. So yeah, the Wilco 2 Thompson, my favorite SMG variant. LMGs. So the LMGs, I have almost all the Lewis variants because again, you got them all from the orders. So we have the Chatterbox, is the only one I don't have. We got the Chatterbox 2. We got the, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. We got this one and the heroic variant of it. We got the Landship and the heroic Landship. We got the English Oak and the heroic English Oak. So my favorite is the one I can't pronounce. The Boulevardia 2. Yeah, that. My favorite by far. I know the gold's a bit much, but when you put chrome on it, it dumbs it down a little bit and it looks really clean. So yeah, my favorite is the really, really goldy, horrible one. This is the one with too much gold. But I like the fact that it's the full gun. This one's a bit too exhaust pipey, and this one it doesn't have the stock. So yeah. MG15, we have the Gorilla, the Akak, which looks ridiculous, the Blade 2, the Shorty, and the Shorty 2. So my favorite is the Shorty 2 because it looks ridiculous. It has a horrible iron sight, but it is just funny. The Blade 2 is probably the best variant of them all, or the Ak-Ak, but I love the Shorty. It's just dumb. Then we have the Bren, which again I have most from orders. I don't have the Epic variants because I just don't see them as worthwhile doing. But we got the King Country, we got the Crown 2, we got the Royalty 2, and we got the Combatant and the Combatant 2. So predictably, I like the one that looks as close to the base one as possible, and I don't like all the gold. So Royalty 2, my favorite by far, not even close. Really clean. Looks kind of like the original one, but it's got a couple of engravings on it, including a lion, the English flag. It's got, I think that's a wolf on, no, another lion on the stock, which, again, just really clean. Looks really good with any camo. And yeah, it's my favorite brand. Then we have the MG42, which has the Buzzsaw 2, the Devil's Piano 2, the Zipper, and the Zipper 2. So my favorite variant by miles is the Zipper 2. I absolutely love it. It's like a really clean MG42 that's been rounded a little bit, a bit more refined. And when you put a camo on it, the whole gun is that camo. It's really clean. We've got the Gpermiga, or the GPMG. We've got the Hand Warmer, which is the variant you purchase. We've got the Copo Verde, which is just ugly. Obviously the Heroic one. And then we've got the base. My favorite one is the Heroic. I love the engraving. Again, it's a little excessive, but it looks really clean, and I wish I had it. But out of the variants I have, my favorite is the base. Just, I love how clean it is. The Hand Warmer one, when you put a camo on it, still has all the white tape all over it. And the Copo Verde's iron sights and all the gold and the fact that the camos look shit on it. Yeah, ugly. I like the base. And the MG81, I don't have the Heroic, which I'm quite happy about because that's ugly. But we have the Dark Lord of the Sith and Big Irish, which, yeah. And then there's the base, which I really, really want the base variant of it. I wonder when that's going to come out. But my favorite variant that I have is the Dark Lord because it's not the Big Irish. Dark Lord's really nice. But my favorite variant overall would have to be the base. I really want the base variant of this gun. Look at that iron sight, it looks amazing. Unfortunately, the Dark Lords is a bit of a clusterfuck. But yeah, I really want the base variant, but of the ones that I have is the Dark Lord, even with all the gold horribleness. Finally, we have the Stinger, which all I have is the Basilisk, the one you could purchase. Then we have the Sentinel 2, the American Muscle, and the Stinger. So my favorite is probably the Basilisk, actually. The Basilisk is my favorite, the one you purchase. The Sentinel, although cool, way too much engraving, and I don't like the gold. American Muscle just looks like it's about to fall apart, even though American Muscle cars are my favorite. And the normal Stinger one is cool, but the Basilisk is just really cool. My favorite LMG variant, which I'm pretty sure you guys could figure out by my excitement, is the Zipper 2. I love, love, love this variant. It just looks so good with any camo. And, you know, I'm going to leave snipers till last because that's obviously the class that I use the most. So let's go to the shotguns. So we have the combat shotgun here, which I've missed out on a few variants with the orders. But we got the Trench Runner 2, we got the Battle Axe, the Catchpole, and the Catchpole 2. So obviously my favorite variant is the Catchpole 2. I think the Trench Runner, the red and the is that like a birchwood is just ugly. So the Catchpole 2 is by far my favorite. If I could have any variant, the Battle Axe would definitely be my favorite. I could have got it, but I didn't really want to run around in the incendiary shotguns and be an asshole, so I didn't. Then we have the Luftwaffe drilling, which I have the Ironfall, the Valkyrie 2, the Triple. So obviously the Valkyrie 2 is my favorite. I also have how clean it is. I love the engraving towards the neck of the shotgun, near the triggers. I think it looks great. I haven't actually seen all the other variants, so hang on a second. And yeah, no, Valkyrie is my favorite variant by miles. And plus it's got two gigantic... Oh no, they all have the gigantic rifle round. Anyway, yeah, Valkyrie by far my favorite, not even close. Then we have the toggle action. So we have the Winter's Wild 2, I've got the Enigma, I've got the Enigma 2, I've got the Flag Top, and I've got the Flag Top 2. So, judging by my previous opinions on too much fucking gold, Flag Top 2, by far my favourite. And if I had all the variants, Flag Top 2 would be my favourite. I mean, as cool as the Winter's Wild is, I love having the full-size gun. I just think it looks better. So, Flag Top 2, my favourite variant. Sawed-off shotgun. So, I've got the Sawed-off, the Crusader. I don't have the Crusader 2. I do have the Domino 2, and then we have the Acrobat. Predictably, Domino 2, very clean, very nice engraving. And it's not too much engraving. It's enough, but not too much. I really, really, really like the Domino 2. Very clean. And then we have the Blunderbuss. So, obviously I got the Prometheus one, the one you can buy. And there's the Devastator, the Old Fashioned, and then the Blunderbuss. So, my favorite is the Old Fashioned, and purely because of look at it. It looks amazing. I really, really, really like the look of the Old Fashioned Blunderbuss, but I think Prometheus is my second favorite just because of how ridiculous it looks. Oh, it's so orange. Anyway, to the sniper rifles now. So we have the Carabin, which I have the Midnight, I have the Kutusov, as well as the heroic variant for it, the Husky, and the Husky 2. And ironically, the one I can't pronounce is my favorite. I quite like the engraving. It's not too much, but not too little. It looks really clean. I like how the scope. I like the look of the scope. Yeah, definitely my favorite looking Caravan. We have the Lee Enfield. So I have the Royal, which is a mini one. I don't have the Sweetie. My brother has the Sweetie too. Amazingly, I got the Greased 2. The Roundabout, and the Roundabout 2. So my favorite by far is the Greased 2. I love the look of it. I don't know if that's wood etching or if that's something put on the wood like silver paint or anything, but I love the look of it. Sweetie 2, definitely second favorite, even with the gold horribleness. But I have to go with the Greased 2, man. Love this variant. Next we have the Springfield, which I just don't have the Warbird, which I don't really care for. But we've got the Ranger 2, the Faithful 2, and the Gumshoe, which is also ugly. I'd rather have the Warbird 2 over the Gumshoe, but anyway. But the Faithful is by far my favorite. Really, really clean. It was actually the first heroic sniper that I got. Looks really good with any camo. The paint jobs look really nice on this variant. It covers almost the entire gun except the scope and the little eagle on the side of it, which I think is perfect because the camo covers those things as well. So I really, really like the Faithful 2. Then we have the Canine 8K, which I have every variant for. Thank you challenges, basically. We got the Torpedo 2, which is ugly. We got the Commander and the Commando 2, which for some reason has a paint job on it right now, which is, yeah, it's okay. We got the Fallen, which I had forever. The Fallen 2, which I wanted forever. The Nightmare, and the Nightmare 2. So my favorite variant is the Fallen 2 by miles, not even close. Absolutely love the look of this variant. I've wanted it since one of my mates got it. My mate rubbed it in my face since the start of this game just about, and I hated him so I hated him for it, but I got it now and I love it. Then we have the Type 38 with the Hydra, the Black Hornet, the Ronin 2, and then the base Type 38. Obviously, Ronin 2, by far my favorite. Very clean, very classy. Little bit too much chrome in my opinion, but I love the wood engraving and like the checkered pattern on it. Just really, really love it. Lever action. So I've got the Dread, the one you pay for. Then there's the Prospector, the Sheriff 2, the Scorpion, and then the base lever action. So my favorite of the ones I have is the Dread. Again, I like the full-size rifles. My favorite would be the Sheriff. I love the hexagonal barrel. I love it. I really, really want it. I've seen it in game a few times and it looks really, really nice. And I love the engraving on it too. Oh, seriously. Can you text now? Anyway, finally, PTRS. I have the Giant. I'll show you all the variants. So you got the Vermin, which is horrible. Tank Killer, ugly as hell. Base PTRS. And then we got the Kraken. So as cool as the Kraken looks, too much engraving. I don't like all the engraving. I don't like the gold. I don't like the fact that half of it's chrome. Yeah, as much as I want it, I'm glad I got the Giant. So the Giant is my favorite variant but just the base gun is really close. I like both of these. Both obviously the full-size rifle. I'm really glad they don't have a short barrel version of this, but the Giant is by far my favorite. Purely because you get the XP bonus. If you didn't get XP bonuses from these, then the base would be my favorite. But thankfully this one doesn't ugly up any of the camos or anything like that, so yeah. PTRS the Giant, the one that I have ironically, is my favorite. Now my favorite variant of all the sniper rifles is the Fallen 2. And the reason for that is I've wanted it for so long and I finally have it. I don't even use the Canine 8K ever anymore because I don't like the timing anymore. But definitely my favorite looking sniper of them all. I love the look of this gun and I've wanted it for so long. And finally guys, my favorite variant in the entire game is the Fallen 2. I think it's just so clean. It's got a little bit of chrome on it, but not too much. And I don't know, I've always wanted it. It's my favorite variant, and I think it's the best looking in the entire game. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call that a video. I hope you all did enjoy. Again, I did steal this idea from a few other YouTubers, but I thought I'd put my own spin on it because I've never seen a sniper do it. So everyone else has kind of said yay bar or yay PPSH. So I thought this would be a bit of a better spin on it. And yeah, I'm out of here, guys. See ya.